is ready. Okay, good afternoon. I'd like to call the order the regular meeting of the Board of Public Works for January 8, 2020 at 4:30 p.m. Roll call. Okay, Val Gomez, president here. We do have a quorum. Lena Guzman is absent today, and our secretary is absent today. First item on agenda, we had the minutes of the regular meetings of December 9th, 2019 and December 11th, 2019. I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes of both of these meetings as written.
Second.
It's approved. Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Okay, Val Gomez, yes. Okay, and no correspondence. Our first item on agenda under new business, opening and awarding of RFQ provided by Harbor Group for asbestos abatement buildings.
Okay, so the first one is from Midwest Service Group, located at 765 Madison Court, Suite C, Crown Point. Okay, we have 5 addresses. 3718 Elm Street, $6,895. 4112 Magoon, $1,350. 4821 Baring, $10,350. 4002 Alder, $650. 1702 Broadway Avenue, $650. Next one is from Northwest Indiana Environmental, located 660 Morningside Drive, Crown Point. Okay, for 3718 Elm Street, $5,460. 4112 Magoon, $625. 4821 Baring, $9,750. 4002 Alder, $490. 1702 Broadway, $490. And those are the only 2 bids.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do I have to do it all over again?
No.
No? All right, good.
Okay, those are the only bids from Harbor Group.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to opening and awarding for RFQ provided for Miracle for asbestos abatement.
Okay, the first is from Safe Environmental Corp., located 10030 Express Drive, Suite AB, Highland, Indiana. Okay, we have 10 addresses. 3805 Pulaski Street, rear, $1,175. 3845 Cary Street, $8,225. 3441 Fur, front and rear, $2,350. 3831 Alder Street, $1,175. 4001 through 03 Drummond, $2,350. 4731 Baring, $2,350. 4931 Baring, $1,175. 4010 Olcott, $8,725. 4805 Walsh, $5,200. 514 West 148th Street, $1,175. Okay, we have NES Environmental, located 195 Industry Avenue, Frankfort, Illinois. $3,805 Pulaski Street, rear, $2,200. 3845 Cary, $12,775. 3441 Fur, front and rear, $3,300. 3831 Alder, $2,200. 4001 through 03 Drummond, $3,490. 4731 Barron, $2,500. 4931 Baring, $2,200. 5010 Olcott, $15,750. 4805 Walsh, $13,825. 514 West 148th Street, $2,800. And then last we have Midwest Service Group, located 769 Madison, Suite C, Crown Point, Indiana.
Okay, Will,
Yes.
if I just say something.
Mhm.
On the bid or proposal, the tabulation form I gave you, put the 4 or 5 contractors across the top, I typed them in. That Midwest might have been environmental assurance, they might have changed their name or something, just so you know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, but you just write their name in, that's all.
Okay.
For the record, can you give your name, please? For-
Oh, John Blosky with Miracle Engineering.
Okay. 3805 Pulaski Street rear, $745. 3845 Cary Street, $13,845. 3441 Fur, front and rear, $2,100. 3831 Alder, $1,150. 4001 through 03 Drummond, $2,100. 4731 Baring, $2,100. 4931 Baring, $745. 5010 Olcott, $8,945. 4805 Walsh, $6,685. 514 West 148th Street, $745. And that is all the
That
bids.
concludes the bidding.
Yep, that concludes.
Okay, our building department commissioner will review, and he'll come back with a recommendation, and hopefully by the end of this meeting. Okay, if not, we'll have to have a next meeting. So, okay, we're going to move on to our regular agenda. Okay, for the record, we're adding one item to the agenda that's not an agenda. It was brought to our attention that they needed us to approve at this meeting. And that item is the contract between the City of East Chicago Board of Public Works and the East Chicago Redevelopment Commission regarding the ongoing city-funded homeowners incentive program. On June 11, 2012, the City Common Council passed the Common Council Resolution 120006 authorizing this intergovernmental cooperation agreement between the city and its redevelopment commission, funded in 2012 by city gaming funds. Appropriated for contractual services to create an entity to administer the city-funded homeowners incentive program for home buyers wishing to purchase homes in the City of East Chicago. On June 13, 2012, the city, through its Board of Public Works, first entered into an intergovernmental agreement with the Redevelopment Commission for the administration of the city-funded homeowners incentive program to extend the homeowners incentive program in order to help stabilize these neighborhoods by increasing the number of homeowner-occupied homes. So whereas the City of East Chicago Board of Public Works now desires to enter an intergovernmental agreement on behalf of the City of East Chicago and contract with the East Chicago Redevelopment Commission to administer the city-funded homeowner incentive program as described herein for the calendar year of 2020. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the 2020 homeowners incentive program in this contract between the City of Public Works, City of East Chicago Public Works, and East Chicago Redevelopment Commission.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, that passes. Okay, now we'll continue with our regular agenda. Next on our agenda, we have several hourly rate schedules for 2020 from IT department. Our IT director, Kevin Klosak, couldn't make it to the meeting, but he called me, so I will proceed with his request to approve these. First on the agenda, we have from ATN Phone Support, their 2020 rate schedule. HECC Fiber and Electric Support, their hourly rate schedule for 2020. Midwest Electrical Support, their rate schedule for 2020. Nitco Fiber and Phone Support for 2020. Tricor Network Support for 2020. Vermilion Camera Support for 2020. Dream Builders of America, their rate schedule for 2020. Telecom Engineering Services and their rate schedule for 2020. On behalf of our IT department, I'd like to make a motion to approve these rate schedules for 2020 for our IT department with the aforementioned companies.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, we'll move on to outstanding invoices. First one that we have is from 411 newspaper from Multimedia. No, this is from your department. It is an invoice from dated 10/24/19 from 411 newspaper for $40. These services were provided? Okay, so you're in agreement that we should pay this outstanding invoice? Okay.
Halloween banner.
Any questions or comments?
None.
There being no questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the outstanding invoice for Multimedia with 411 newspaper for $40.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, then we'll move on to Mechanical Concepts from Public Works. We have invoice dated 9/30/2019 in the amount of $2,450. Were the services provided?
Yes. We received the actual invoice late.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
No.
There be no further questions or comments, I would like to make a motion that we approve the late invoice for Mechanical Concepts for Public Works for the amount of $2,450.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we have invoice from Thomas Irrigation. We have 4 invoices dated from 08/19 through 10/18/19 in the amount of total of $943.82. Were the services provided?
They were.
Do you have any questions or comments on this late invoice? There be no further questions or comments, I entertain a motion to approve the late invoice to Thomas Irrigation in the amount of $943.82.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, we do have an added invoice, late invoice from Syntex. This is brought to us with Bus Transit. I received a call before the meeting. It was for $56.91, dated 5/17/2019. The invoice was overlooked when previously submitted, but the services were provided. Their director informed me that this is the case. Are there any questions or comments on this one? There being no questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the past due invoice from Bus Transit for Syntex in the amount of $56.91.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next on our agenda, we have from Service Sanitation, we have their rate schedule,
Correct.
and also for Public Works, we also have the rate schedule for Mako for Public Works for 2020. Are there any questions on these 2 rate schedules?
No.
There be no further questions, entertain a motion to approve the rate schedule for 2020 with Service Sanitation and with Mako Collision Repair with Public Works.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we move on to, we have 2 proposals from Standard Equipment Company with Public Works.
Mr. President, there's actually 3.
3?
They're actually 2 preventative maintenances and 1 rate table.
Oh, and 1 rate table, but 2 proposals.
That is correct.
Okay. So, let's see. We have 1 proposal for
Standard Equipment, and it's going to cover the preventative maintenance for the sweepers. And that particular,
that one's for $3,798.97.
that is correct, per vehicle.
And then you have the one for the 10 vehicles,
That is correct.
and that one is $10,742.
That is correct, sir.
Is that total, or is that for all the?
That is the,
The 3,798 per sweep, that's for all the sweepers, or
that's correct.
individual?
That's correct. That's individual, correct.
And the other one is for all 10 vehicles.
That is correct.
Okay. And then included from standard, you have the 2020 rate schedule.
That is correct.
Are there any questions or comments on these articles? If there be no further question or comments, I'd like to make a motion that we approve from Standard Equipment Company their proposal for the 10, for servicing 10 vehicles in the amount of $10,742.50. And then for the one for the sweepers for $3,798.97. And their standard rate schedule for 2020.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we have a rate schedule for Tonkovich Oil Company for 2020, also with Public Works. Any questions or comments? There be no further question or comments, I entertain a motion to approve. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the Tonkovich Oil Company rate schedule for lubricants for 2020.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we have from True Green. I believe this is a proposal for fertilizing and weed control for our major parks.
That is correct. It's a 3-year agreement.
Your agreement, and is the amount for $20,644, is that per year?
Per year.
Okay, so the total will be 3 times $20,644.11. Am I correct?
That's correct.
I don't see any difference in the rate for each year, right?
No, there is no difference. It's going to be the same price for all 3 years.
Okay. Any questions or comments on this proposal to fertilize and weed our major parks from True Green?
No.
There be no further question or comments, or any motion to approve the 3-year proposal from True Green Commercial for fertilizing and weed control in our major parks in the amount of $20,644.11 for each year of a 3-year contract.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we move to Johnson's Control. We have a proposal for our public safety building and for central service, I believe.
That is correct.
Our public service safety building is the amount is for fire safety alarm systems.
That is correct.
It is for $8,271. And for our public works, there is a similar contract for $1,568. Is this all 1 year or
These are 1-year
1-year
agreements.
agreements? Any questions or comments on these agreements?
I'm sorry, sir. It is actually a 3-year agreement. These two are 3-year agreements.
Each is 3 year?
Yep.
For that amount of
For the same amount for all 3 years.
3 years.
And that's to monitor our fire suppression systems at both locations.
Okay. Any questions or comments on the 3-year proposals? There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion that we approve from Johnson Controls their proposals for the Chicago Public Safety Building in the amount of $8,271 for a 3-year contract, and for Johnson's Control proposal for 54 Klein Avenue Public Works in the amount of $1,568 for each year of a 3-year contract.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we move, Hassey Construction, change order number 1. This is for the Block Stadium site utilities. I believe this is a
Credit.
credit for $12,500, which is good for us.
Yes.
Any questions or comments on this credit? There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion that we approve change order number 1 from Hassey for a credit of $12,500 for our Block Stadium site utilities project.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we have the rate schedule from, we have a rate schedule from Altorfer, is that how you pronounce it?
Altifer.
Altorfer. And we have 2 proposals for, I believe these are for generators, one?
Yes, actually, there are
Both for generators?
multiple generators on this particular account. This is for preventative maintenance for all of those actual locations. The grand total for this particular package is $20,079, and that is to service each of the generators twice a year at City Hall, fire departments, Public Works. Yes, I think that's it. Yep. And they're all listed behind. And the last one is also Public Safety Building.
What was the total for that?
$20,079.
That's for all the generators.
All the generators to be maintenance twice a year.
So we're trying to get them all under one company then.
That's correct.
Okay, that's good. Any questions or comments on their proposal? There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve the proposal from Ultrafer for maintenance of our generators in the amount of
$79.
$79.
Second.
I wasn't finished yet. And include the 2020 rate schedule for the same company.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we have from Garrett Construction, change order number 5 for the new locker rooms and press box. Change order number 5, this is an increase of $1,051 for the new locker room and press box at Block Stadium.
Correct. This is to replace the water hammer adjuster mods at the 2 locker rooms.
Okay, and you agree with the change order?
Correct.
Any questions or comments? There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion that we approve change order number 5 from Garrett for our new locker room press box project at Block Stadium in the amount of $1,051.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, now we come to rate schedule from CAM Tree Service for 2020. Any questions or comments on the rate schedule for the tree service company?
None.
There being no further, this is the same basically as the last year?
This is the exact same price as last year. He actually honored them, and this is for tree removal and stumping for any trees that are on city properties across the city.
Okay. No questions or comments? There being no further questions or comments, I entertain a motion to approve CAM Trees service rate schedule for 2020 with Public Works.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we have from Sportsville with Public Works. We have 3 proposals. We have their monthly infill and warning track maintenance, and we have 3 visits a month maintenance at Block Stadium, and we have the 2020 through 21 growing season for Block Stadium and surrounding turf area. I believe the monthly infill and warning track maintenance is $9,600 annually, $1,200 monthly. The 3 visit a month maintenance at Block Stadium, that's $15,750 per visit. Annual. What's the other one?
And then the final one is the fertilization of all the locations that we play baseball at. That'll be Kenny Lofton's Field, Block Stadium, Todd Park, and Kosciuszko Park.
That's the one for $14,425?
That is correct.
Okay. I believe that's the 3, right?
That is correct.
Any questions or comments on these 3 proposals with Public Works from Sportsville?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve the 3 proposals from Sportsville with our Public Works for the 2020 season.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we have from Cesar Perez for Fleet Coronation from Public Works. I believe this is one proposal we had from last year also.
That is correct. This is the same amount that we had last year. His responsibilities is to keep up the registration of all the city vehicles throughout each department.
Okay, and this will be for $1,900 per month at $20,000, not to exceed $22,800 for the year 2020.
Correct.
Any questions or comments?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve Cesar Perez contractual service for fleet coordinator with Public Works for the year 2020.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we also, from Public Works, we have from Best Equipment. This is a rate schedule?
It's actually a contract.
Oh, I see. We have, and there is a rate schedule included.
Yes, there is a rest schedule included as well.
Okay, the total for the contract, it's a 3-year contract?
Best Equipment. Best Equipment is a 1-year contract.
I'm showing in my paperwork as 1 year, 2 year, 3 year.
We would decide it on the 1 year.
Oh, you said you're just going with the one then?
Correct.
Okay, and what would the amount be for the one?
Uh,
Is that the one where 13,992?
correct.
Okay, so we're going with the 1 year?
Correct. I believe the total is, for all the vehicles that will be under this particular program is $92,268.
So for the 1 year, it's 92,000. This includes all your vehicles?
Correct.
Okay. Any questions or comments on this proposal? There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion that we approve Best Equipment's proposal with Public Works for 1 year for their vehicles in the amount of $92,268.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes.
And Mr. President, there is a rate table that goes along with
I was
it.
about to do that, but Alan jumped in again. I'd also like to also make a motion to approve Best Equipment's rate schedule for 2020 for maintenance and repair rates.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, so next we go to pest control service agreement with the Bug Guy. This is for 5 public buildings.
And it's a 1-year agreement.
1 year agreement.
Correct.
At a rate similar to last year, or?
This is actually a new vendor. We decided to move away from Franklin Pest Control. These guys are actually used here at City Hall. So we're going to have one vendor that does pest control across the city.
Okay, so there's 5 locations, animal control, $53 a month, police department, $61, public works, $151 a month, Johnny Florence, $53 a month, public courts, $24 a month.
It was $4,104 for the year.
Correct.
Any questions or comments on this proposal?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve the pest control service agreement with the Bug Guy for these 5 locations in the total amount of $4,104.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Next, we come to public concepts, a planned maintenance agreement with Healthy Chicago and their 2020 rates.
Yes, and Mr. President, the actual contract is a 3-year agreement with them to,
Is it 3 year?
that is correct, to do the maintenance, the preventative maintenance on the air conditioning units that are housed on top of the building itself.
And the amount here, where it says $2,950 per visit, that's per year then?
That's right, and there are 2 visits per year.
Visits per year.
April and October are the visits.
Any questions or comments on this planned maintenance agreement?
No.
There be no further questions or comments, or entertain a motion we approve the planned maintenance agreement with Kendall Concepts and Public Works for the year 2020.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we have the 2020.
Should be a rate table for Mechanical Concepts.
Okay. Okay, we also had the Mechanical Concepts billing rates for the entire city, right? This
That
is
is-
for the entire city?
This is for the entire city, and it also covers the HVAC as well as plumbing.
Okay, any questions or comments on their rate schedule for 2020?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve the Mechanical Concepts billing rates for the city of Chicago for 2020.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we come to 2020 City of Chicago Vehicle Equipment Maintenance Service Policy. I believe this is one continuation of something we've been doing for the last few years.
That is correct. It includes six different actual vendors that we use for repair and maintenance of our vehicles. And they have all agreed to use these particular rates when servicing our vehicles.
So once we approve this, then they would sign individually.
They've already signed,
Yeah?
and at which point in time, we just wait on your signature. It should be a signed copy in front of you as well.
Okay. Any questions or comments on this on the maintenance service policy?
None.
There being no further question or comment, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the 2020 City of Chicago Vehicle Equipment Maintenance Service Policy.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we come to STM Enterprises General Services for Public Works.
It's the rate table.
This is a rate schedule for their various services for 2020.
Correct. They do various things for us, but mostly it's board ups.
Are the rates similar to last year?
Exactly the same.
Exactly the same? Any questions or comments on this general service rate schedule?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion that we approve STM Enterprises General Services proposal rate schedule for their general services with Public Works for 2020.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we come to Schindler Plus. Schindler?
Correct.
Their preventive maintenance agreement, I believe these are for elevators at Public Safety at City Hall.
And also Public Safety, City Hall, and also at Public Works.
Public Works also?
Yes. It should be. Is it in there? Oh, I take that back. We took it out. We are going through the sanitary department for that. So yes, it's just going to be
Okay.
Public Safety and City Hall.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to, I thought I saw it too. Okay, Public Safety will be $428 a month, in total of $5,136 a year. City Hall, $341 a month at $4,092, I believe. Any questions or comments on this project? There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve Schindler Plus's proposal for elevator maintenance for 2020 for the public safety facility at City Hall at the aforementioned prices.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, now we'll move on to the 2019 through 2020 City of Chicago Snow Removal Service Policy.
6, 7. Yes, Mr. President, these are 7 individual or companies that have come together that have agreed to the rates that are in this particular rate policy. And if we would need to have them remove snow and put them in our staging areas, they are willing to do it at this particular price.
Okay, this is similar to last year's,
Exactly same.
exactly the same. Any questions or comments on our 2019 through 20 snow removal policy? There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the 2019 through 2020 City of Chicago snow removal service policy with rate schedule.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we come to Thomas Irrigation.
Overhead door as well as Weaver Tree are all rate tables.
Thomas Irrigation, that one is a 3-year proposal.
That is correct.
And I believe that's for sprinkler system in our major parks.
That is correct, and we did add 2 locations. We added irrigation system over at Washington Park, as well as we're now taking the Marina irrigation system under this particular program as well.
Okay, and if I did my math right, I think it's at 5,950 for
That's
times
correct.
30,
That is correct.
and it'd be 7,850?
Yep.
Okay, any questions or comments on Thomas Irrigation's proposal to maintain the sprinkler systems?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve Thomas Irrigation's proposal for 3 years in the amount of $17,850.
Second.
Roll call?
William Allen, yes.
Al Gomez, yes. Okay, next, we have several rate schedules for 2020 with Public Works. We have overhead door, we have Weaver Tree Service, Precision Control Systems, HECC, Mechanical Concepts, and Trefster's Service and Sales and Service.
Correct.
These are hourly rates and labor rates for 2020. Any questions or comments on these
None.
rate schedules? There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the service rates schedules for labor and parts and whatever for the aforementioned companies.
Second.
Roll call?
William Allen, yes.
Al Gomez, yes.
And Public Works thanks you for your patience.
Okay, that brings us to we have compliance reports, which we are just going to enter the record. There is no motion necessary or vote necessary to be taken. And these are the compliance reports from planning for the pre-stress tank number 1 at Todd Avenue, pre-stress tank number 4 on Guthrie, the Walsh Avenue reconstruction project, and the Homerly Avenue reconstruction, and the Block Stadium site utilities reports. And these are all the compliance reports from the planning department, which we will enter our record for this meeting. Okay, now we're going to move on to resolutions. First resolution we have is Resolution 2020-01. Resolution of Chicago Board of Public Works authorizing a renewal of the city's contract with Tonkovich Oil Company for fuel products.
This is a renewal of our existing contract. It's a standard contract. We negotiate the markup. The price of the gasoline and oil products fluctuates, is market driven. It's the same contract we had last year.
Okay, any questions or comments on the resolution?
None.
There be no further question or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve Resolution 2020-01 with Tonkovich Oil for the city's fuel products.
Second.
Roll call?
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, now we're going to move on to, we have contracts. First thing we have, Resolution 2020-02, transfer of properties for redevelopment. It's a resolution of Chicago Board of Public Works establishing terms and conditions for the transfer of properties owned by the City of East Chicago to the East Chicago Department of Redevelopment, which properties are commonly known as 416 Riley Road, 418 Riley Road, 506 Grove Street, 3549 Block, 3550 through 52 Pennsylvania Avenue. I believe these properties will be conveyed and transferred without consideration. The above described real estate, and also we have the attached quitclaim deeds, and forwarded to Chicago City Department of Redevelopment.
The quitclaim teams will be attached because of Olga's illness. They were sent directly to her.
Okay. The board president hereby authorized to execute deeds substantially conforming to the documents attached, conveying such property to Department of Redevelopment along with appropriate sales disclosure forms.
Smith and Sursick did send the deeds. I have received copies of them, however, the originals are with Olga.
Okay. Any questions or comments on Resolution 2020-02?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, or entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2020-02, the transfer of properties from the City of East Chicago to the East Chicago Department of Redevelopment.
Second.
Roll call?
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Thank you. Okay, next we have the consulting contract between the City of East Chicago and J.M. Bennett Associates. This is a contract of not to exceed $130,000 at $150 an hour. Any questions or comments?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve the consulting contract between the City of East Chicago and J.M. Bennett and Associates not to exceed $130,000.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Next, we have the contract for attorney employment contract, Joseph Allegretti for 2020, not to exceed $130,000 at $125 an hour. Any questions or comments?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I entertain a motion to approve contract between attorney Joseph Allegretti and the City of East Chicago.
Second.
Roll
Let me
call.
just say that,
Yes?
I'm sorry, just each of these contracts is identical to the previous year's contract, no change, and all the players are all the same as they were last year.
Okay, thank you very much.
William, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we have the contract with Smith Sursick, attorney at law, not to exceed $25,000, $125 an hour. And any questions or comments on this contract?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I entertain a motion to approve the contract for legal services between the City of East Chicago and Smith Sursick attorneys at law for the year 2020.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we have contract between the City of East Chicago and law office of Shanna Levinson, attorney at law for legal services for the year 2020. This is not to exceed $25,000. It is $125 an hour. For non-litigation, $150 an hour for involving litigation. Any questions or comments on this one?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve the contract between the City of East Chicago and the law offices of Shanna Levinson, attorney at law for legal services, in the amount not to exceed $25,000.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Next, we have also from contract for legal services with Shanna Levinson, but this is with the Police Merit Board. And this is also not to exceed $25,000 at the rate of $125 an hour, $150 for litigation. Any questions or comments on this one?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion. We approve the contract for legal services with Shanna D. Levinson, City of Chicago for the Police Merit Board in the amount not to exceed $25,000.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Next, we have the contract between the City of Chicago and Tolbert & Tolbert in the amount of not to exceed $60,000 for the year 2020. Any questions or comments?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve the contract between the City of Chicago and Tolbert & Tolbert in the amount of not to exceed $60,000.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Next, we have the contract between the City of Chicago and Attorney Joe Harris, Jr. of the Harris Law Firm for legal services for 2020, not to exceed of $25,000, hourly rate $150, $160 for litigation an hour. Any questions or comments on this contract?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve the contract between Joe Harris, Jr. and the City of Chicago Law Firm. Law Department. Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we have the contract for legal services between the City of Chicago and Attorney Darnell Lyles in the amount of $75,000, hourly rate of $150 an hour, $170 an hour for litigation. Any questions or comments?
None.
Be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve the contract for legal services between the City of Chicago and Attorney Darnell Lyles.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Next, we have the contracts for professional services between the City of Chicago and Attorney Richard Morserow for 2020 in the amount of not to exceed $65,000, $125 per hour. Any questions or comments?
None.
Being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion to approve the contract between the City of East Chicago and Attorney Richard Morrisroe in an amount not to exceed $65,000.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. And next, we have the contract for legal services between the City of East Chicago and Attorney Don Dawkins in the amount of $50,000, not to exceed $50,000, at the hourly rate of $125 and $150 for litigation. Any questions or comments?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve the contract between the City of East Chicago and Attorney Don Dawkins and not to exceed $50,000.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we have a professional office lease agreement between the City of East Chicago and Community Care Network. This is for their lease, and it is an amount of $19 per square foot, which comes to $12,156.83 monthly, total of $145,872 yearly. I think this is an ongoing lease since they've been leasing from the City of East Chicago. Are there any questions or comments on this professional office lease?
None.
If there be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve the professional office lease for 2020 between the City of East Chicago and Community Care Network Incorporated in the amount of $12,156.83 monthly.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Next we come
We got
to rate schedules, and these are for engineering. We have the rate schedule for Midwest Electric for 2020, and the rate schedule for HECC for 2020. Any questions or comments on their rate schedules?
Nope.
There being no further question or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve the rate schedules for Midwest Electric Incorporated and HECC with our engineering department.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Next, we have two proposals from Robinson Engineering. We have two supplementals for home release street design and a supplemental for Guthrie reconstruction design.
Engineering department, supplemental for the home relief street design project in the amount of $45. This is to change the specs in the bid documents prior to going out to bid. This is going to be the project that we separate the utilities from the surface work.
For the home relief, I see the 45. There's also one for 16. Is that something different, or is that supposed to be added to the 45 or not?
Yeah, this is something different that also gets added on top of that 45.
Okay, so
Additional design work.
for the home relief project, it'll be 45 plus 16 for a total of 61,000.
Correct.
Okay, so any questions or comments on the home relief project?
Nope.
There being no further questions or comments on the home relief street design project, I'd like to make a motion we approve Robinson's Engineering's proposal for the home relief street design project in the amount of $61,000.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we have from Robinson Engineering for their Guthrie Street reconstruction supplemental engineering services. This, I believe, is $53,006.
Yes, for additional engineering services for the Guthrie project. This is for utility, sewers and water coordination, and then also for the intersections for the side streets, for the cross section.
Okay. No, I have no questions or comments. There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve Robinson Engineering Supplemental Engineering Services for Guthrie Street Reconstruction Design Project in the amount of $53,006.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we have from Americo, from Building. First item is Part 58, Environmental Review. This proposal is an amount of $9,680. James, I believe this is one of yours, right? So, Part 58 Environmental Review, $9,680.
That is correct.
Any questions or comments?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion, we approve Americo's proposal to Building Department for Part 58 environmental review in the amount of $9,680.
Second.
Roll call?
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Next one is also with Americo, asbestos surveys pre-demolition residential properties. This is at 450
440.
property, and these are for hardest hit properties. That would be a total of 5,000, and non-hardest hit would be another 10,000. Am I correct?
Correct. It's for 440 per property.
450?
440.
Oh, because I have... Yeah,
I'm sorry, I wrote it wrong then.
well, their proposal says 450. You have... So is it, we go by theirs or your...
It doesn't matter. Just a little increase for the new year, that's all.
Oh, okay.
We can stick with the 440, whatever you prefer, that's fine.
I believe what we're going to...
Whatever James puts on.
Well,
No,
what we're going to sign has a 450.
That's fine. 450.
Any questions or comments?
No.
If there be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve Americo's proposal for asbestos survey pre-demolitions at $450 per property. For hardest hit, the budget will be $5,000. For non-hardest hit, will be $10,000. Any questions or comments?
None.
Okay, so that will be my motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call?
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we also have from Americo, ambient air monitoring during demolition. This is, I believe, at $1,680 per day. The budget will be not to exceed $75,000. Am I correct? Any questions or comments on this proposal?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve for Americo the ambulance air monitoring during demolition at a rate of $1,600 per day with a budget not to exceed $75,000.
Second.
Roll call?
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Next, we come also from Americo Incorporated, petroleum tank decommissioning and enclosure oversight. I believe the rate is $890 for residential tank and $1,280 for commercial tank. There's also a soil and groundwater sampling analysis at $350. And I believe your budget for this will be $5,000, not to exceed. Okay, any questions or comments?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion to approve Americo Incorporated's petroleum tank decommissioning and enclosure oversight proposal.
Second.
Roll call?
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Next, we come to Americo's asbestos project management proposal. And this would be, I believe it has a budget of $15,000. And it would be for $575 per building, with buildings of four and below units.
Residential buildings of 4 units or less,
Okay, and the other one would be residential buildings of 5 units
or
more.
commercial
At
buildings.
$775.
Yes,
And your budget would be $15,000.
correct.
Any questions or comments?
None.
There be no questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve Americo's proposal for asbestos project management.
Second.
Roll call?
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Next we have Americo explosive waste collection and disposal. This would be at $7,680 a lump sum. Is
At
that also,
48, 42 bearing
oh, this is for a particular,
address, yes,
at 48, 42 bearing.
correct,
Okay. That's why it's only one lump sum.
correct.
Any questions or comments on this?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, or entertain a motion to approve Americo's proposal for explosive waste collection and disposal at 4842 Berry.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we come, I think that concludes those, we come to the Harbor Group. This is asbestos building inspection agreement. This is at $300 per building with a budget, I believe, of $10,000.
With $25 for the polarized light microscopy, so it'll be $325.
Okay. Oh, so that's not an option. You include it with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's $325. But your budget is not to exceed $10,000.
Correct.
Any questions or comments on the proposal from Harbor Group?
None.
No further questions or comments. I'd like to make a motion we approve Harbor Group's proposal for asbestos building inspection agreement at $325 per building and the budget not to exceed $10,000 for 2020.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Next we move on to Harbor Group asbestos project management. This would be $400 per building, also budget not to exceed $10,000 for 2020.
And these are for building 4 units and under.
4 units and under?
Yes.
Any questions or comments on this proposal?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve Harbor Group's proposal for asbestos project management.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Next we come with Chicago Title Insurance Company. Their budget not to exceed $30,000, and I believe it's $200 per property
Per
search,
parcel.
demolition search, and commendation search, right?
Yes.
Any questions or comments?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Chicago Title Insurance Company's proposal for their aforementioned services with a budget not to exceed $30,000.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Next, we come to Officer Lake County Recorder. This is a fee schedule for 2020. Building department's budget is not to exceed $20,000.
Liens to be recorded at the rate of $25 a piece, and mortgages recorded at $55 a piece.
So they're still honoring the schedule even though it's 2017? Okay. No questions or comments?
No.
There be no further questions or comments, I entertain a motion to approve. I would like to make a motion to approve Officer Lake County Recorder's fee schedule for 2020 building department in the amount not to exceed $20,000.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we have,
4001 Elm. Emergency demolition.
okay, we have that emergency demolition. Okay. Get your limit. Okay, in the agenda, it's under Safe Environmental Corporation, which was the proposal for 4001 Elm. But with that, we also have included the demolition on the
Correct.
same address.
Yes.
And this was a notice of emergency demolition at 4001. Was there a fire at this building, or was there a reason? What was the reason for the emergency?
Collapsed wall, and it just,
Collapse of wall?
Yeah.
Okay, so you need the board to approve the demolition then.
correct. It was awarded to,
Demolition was with DNR Site Services for $15,250?
correct.
Okay, so the first item we'll do, I'll make a motion to approve the notice for emergency order to demolish an unsafe building at 4001 Elm Street, which went to the lowest bidder, which was DNR Site Services at $15,250. Any questions or comments?
None.
Then that'll be my motion.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay, next we hit
And the second one is Safe Environmental Corporation,
for the same address.
same address, for asbestos abatement.
So it's a proposal from Safe Environmental Corporation for asbestos removal and disposal at that same building, 4001 Elm. And their amount is, for their proposal is $3,525.
Correct.
Any questions or comments?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion to approve Safe Environment Corporation's proposal for 4001 Elm Street.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. Okay. That brings us to right-of-way applications.
No, I have the bid.
You have your bid
Tabulation.
recommendation?
Yes.
Okay, good. For the record, can you please read your bid first for
This is the Harbor Group one.
Mhm.
Harbor Group it was the lowest bidder, was Northwest Indiana Environmental for all the 5 properties. 3718 Elm Rear, 4112 Magoon, 4821 Bering, 4002 Alder, 1702 Broadway. The total amount was $16,815
Okay, that was the lowest bid. So he's the lowest on all the properties.
on all the properties.
Okay, and now for second,
I have John Blasky here from Americo. Give his recommendations.
Good evening.
for the
So,
record, can you please give your name again? So,
yes, John Blosky with Miracle Engineering. So we submitted the request for proposal to 5 contractors. 3 contractors submitted the proposals. I would like to discuss the Midwest Service Group. What happened was previously, this gentleman, Brian Hughes, ran environmental assurance, and his office was out of Crown Point or Cedar Lake, same Crown Point address. So, he left that company and went to Midwest Service Group, and so he must still be receiving the environmental assurance emails, because that's why he submitted a proposal. The issue is, he submitted low prices on 7 properties. However, he's not licensed in the city of East Chicago. Environmental assurance was, that's why we invited them. So,
he's disqualified then?
right.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll send him an email with an application, say, hey, get licensed, and then you could bid on the work, but we don't want to wait a month or 2 months for him to get licensed to proceed. Therefore, our recommendation is to go with Safe Environmental on all properties, and the price difference is only $2,065, so it's not a big difference overall, about $200 a property. So, and the total price to Safe Environment for all work would be $33,900, and I reviewed that with James. I just came to present to give you that explanation.
Okay.
All right.
Dave, are you going to give us the documentation on all this? Okay, so, we'll get that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll move on to right-of-way applications. We have Board of Public Works permit applications 1903-437 through 2003-462. Any questions or comments on these permit applications?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve Board of Public Works permit application 1903-437 through 2003-462.
Second.
Roll call.
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes. This concludes our new business. We'll move on. We have no other business. Our next regular meeting will be January 22nd, 2020 at 4:30 p.m. That concludes our business. I'd like to make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
William Allen?
William Allen, yes.
Val Gomez, yes.
I was distracted for a minute. That 219 network appeared and was executed. On here, there's, at the end of the law contracts, it has 219 Health Network.
Yes, we
Fine,
yeah.
thank you.
we went over the amount and
It's the same
square
amount.
foot and the monthly amount, and we,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
I would like to call to order the regular meeting, City of East Chicago, Indiana Board of Public Safety, January 8th, 2020. We'll start with the call to order and the Pledge of Allegiance. May we all stand? Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We will follow the agenda we have in front of us, and our action item will be the release of liens, and it will call for a motion to approve East Chicago Board of Safety resolution to release the lien at 3617 Ivy Street. Is there a motion?
I so move.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions?
I have none.
Are there any questions? If there are no questions, we'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
If I
motion.
may, I was mentioning to the court reporter before, I didn't know the numbers. Since this is the beginning of the year, that can be 01 and the second one 02.
Okay, well, we will amend the resolution for resolution
So you will-
2020,
Usually all go with.
sure, -01.
Okay.
And all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries, and we need to sign, make sure we sign a copy. We'll use this one as a signed copy. You know what, I did forget about it might be important for the record to have the roll call, so I'll say Richard Krasinski here.
Present.
Okay, Milton Reed here. And Ms. Thomas Davis?
Here.
All right, so we did have our roll call. Now we will entertain a motion for the City of East Chicago Board of Public Safety Resolution number 2020-02, resolution to release the lien at 4135 Walsh Avenue. Is there a motion to approve?
Second on it.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions?
None.
Any questions? If not, we will take a vote. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, there is no other business before us, and there is no audience here for participation. Our next regular meeting will be January 22nd, 2020, and if there's no other business, we're good for everything, we will take a motion to adjourn.
And second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.